useless clauses of the CBA that the money will be paid on or before.
Hello viewer. Welcome and thank you for joining me. Our topic today is how Ruto government is killing public universities. Public universities remain deserted by students due to the ongoing strike by lecturers and staff that is now on its fourth week. For students who are on their fourth year, this is the fourth strike that has impacted them. That is because strikes by university lecturers and staff have literally become annual rituals. For example, the one for last year disrupted the academic calendars of several universities by at least 3 weeks, and some institutions were prompted to extend the September-December semester of 2024 to January 2025. That is the same thing that is going to happen this semester, that is if at all the strike ends soon. Many in the university sector, particularly the WASU and KUSU officials, feel that the government lacks sufficient commitment to the plight of higher education institutions and the staff welfare. They know that every other time they have to go to the streets to press for implementation of industrial agreements. To expect Kenya Kwanza government effect CBA without prompting is like expecting sunlight at midnight, so to speak. In this podcast, I will look at 5 signs to illustrate there is clear laxity and or negligence on the government towards the public universities, which currently have enrollment of between 450,000 and 500,000 students. Before I present that, may I kindly remind you to like our video and to subscribe by hitting the subscribers button. Subscription is free. For those who have subscribed, thank you for the support. So what are the 5 signs of laxity and or negligence? 1. Breach of CBA. The current lecturers' strike is taking place due to the failure by the government to implement certain provisions of the CBA by way of availing funding to the public universities. The breaches started to become common during Jubilee or Ruto Administration. Incidentally, under the Kenya Kwanza administration, such breaches of agreement have become even more regular to the chagrin of the university staff and administrators. Every time there is a strike, the government engages union officials in a return-to-work formulas, which are however breached even before the ink on the paper dries. Within months another round of standoff and negotiation circus commences. And now because the university staff have come realize that the government often reneges on its industrial promises, the unions have become more decisive, as they know well that they are dealing with a hostile party, the government.
This time I'm not going to write useless clauses of the CBA that the money will be paid on or before.
2. Unremitted deductions. Cash-trapped universities cannot meet their basic obligations. One would ideally expect serious soul-searching by those in Jagoo House and Treasury in regard this worsening crisis of unremitted deductions such as pension, social security, medical insurance, and taxes, among others. As the unionists point out, this is an issue that touches the basic human right of the worker, as enshrined in Article 41 of the Kenyan Constitution, and other laws of the country. Article 41 states that every worker has right to fair labor practices, including the right to fair remuneration and right working conditions. This has become a major source of concern among universities staff. Listen to this.
We are cleaning higher education sector. We are cleaning it once and for all. We shall not call strike next year. Tunamalizana this year. So that when we start next year, our students can have time to study.
Do research.
This is a sector that has been neglected for years. This is a sector where our statutory deductions are not remitted. Technical University of Kenya staff members do not have pension scheme. Yes. Pension scheme collapsed there. Yes. Moi University don't have a pension scheme. We don't have medical cover.
We have only memos.
And we pay tax. I want to say, colleagues, yes. Let us redeem this sector.
3. Capitation. The government continues to delay disbursing capitation, thereby subjecting already financially troubled universities to deeper crises. The intermittent cash flow has dashed efforts of many universities to meet their obligations, including salary payments, maintenance expenses, and purchases of training materials. Consequently, many universities are in a serious state of disrepair. Some have failed to meet very basic things, such as maintaining clean environment and sustaining water supply. Suppliers to the universities have to wait for indefinite periods for their payment, a trend that has increasingly made universities to become risky partners to the business community. 4. Patronage. The problem of patronage continues to dog the universities. The problem became most apparent at Moi University several years ago, where a vice-chancellor was rejected by local politicians just on the basis that he was not a local, yet he had requisite credentials and experience to turn around the ailing institution. This retrogressive culture is still rampant in many universities. It has made some university administrators untouchable, and it is being blamed over the management and governance crises that have hit universities such as Moi, Masai Mara, Technical University of Kenya, TUK, University of Nairobi, among others.
And we take seriously matters of governance in our institutions, and where institutions such as Koitalel are being run well, we want to encourage them to continue doing that, so that they do not land into any sort of
5. Imposed decisions. Imposed decisions remain the most critical aspect of how Ruto administration is presiding the institutions of higher learning. Few years ago, the government ordered universities to stop diploma programs through a unilateral decision, whereas not all diploma certificates offered by universities are duplication of those offered by middle-level colleges. Recently, the government revised the controversial new university funding model without elaborate consultation with the universities. Some vice-chancellors were quoted in the local media saying they ought to have been consulted. One bone of contention is the amount of fees imposed on social sciences, which many dons feel the amount is not sustainable, and it could cause a collapse of those programs. As the current strike by the university fraternity continues, the troubling question remains, is the government tinkering with our public universities? How does that settle with the idea of Kenya's Vision 2030, of whose one key pillar is technology and research? In one of our past podcasts that tried to analyze the deep crisis in our education system, by post thus, what way for our universities? Today I conclude by posing that question again, what way for our universities? Ruto administration would do better to hasten the remission of the university staff dues, lest 500,000 university learners would remain inconvenienced irreparably. The learners might be excused to now believe that universities are not a priority for Kenya Kwanza government, and that values of fidelity in public contracting are mere talk and largely whimsical. With that, thank for watching, and see you in our next Dokiza TV podcast.
You look like you're quite bothered. What's your name and what has been bothering you this week?
Okay, my name is Masika Lennox from Juja J. Court School of Pharmacy. So my hot button is about the ongoing strike that has been going for the last 4 weeks. And we've been in school, we're not doing anything. You can imagine the first years who are admitted, then immediately the lecturers went on strike. So you can imagine a parent is at home, has left or has sent their kid to school for higher education and have not been doing anything for the last 1 month. Then for our finalists, we've been in this university for like at least 5 years, time wasted. Is the government going to compensate for that time that the employers will be asking for 5-year experience? Will they quote that 1 month that you are losing?
How do they intend for you to compensate you for the time that you've lost?
That's what I'm asking them. Will they tell employers that
if you had to
lost
think
that
about
time?
it, how would you want to be compensated for losing,
We should not
say, like 3 months?
We should not pay fees for this coming semester.
All right. Thank you very much.